cover story. As a big story this week, we take a look at the politics of Pranab Mukherjee's presidency as he restores gravitas to the office of Rashtrapati Bhavan. But first, the interview of the week with Amar Singh. At a time when the talk of a third front is hotting up again, and the non-Congress and non-BJP parties are planning a convention at the end of the month, we speak to a man who's actually made and broken many such fronts. Hello and welcome to NewsX. Mr. Amar Singh, we recently had a very interesting interview with you where you told lots of fascinating anecdotes about the rich and powerful. But somehow I think you still have some stories left to tell us, which is why I'm back again at your doorstep. In fact, I want to begin with this recent comment of Mulayam Singh about the third front. This is the house really where it all began. We've seen Chandrababu Naidu, we've seen Jayalalitha, Chauthala, we've seen all these people coming here to this house where the front was formed. Do you think this is a viable option now?
Well, there is a particular incident I would like to mention. This front, so-called third front, was initiated and formed in the residence of Right Honorable Jayalalitha ji in Post Garden. She invited all of us for lunch. And she said that UPA, there should be something, since we are trying to counter UPA, similar to that. And I have consulted numerologists, and a good name I have thought of, UNPA, United Progressive Alliance, and to counter that, United National Progressive Alliance, UNPA. She is a very astute and well-read and educated, articulate, honorable lady with no confusion in her mind, very focused. And I think that that kind of intelligence I have not seen in Mulayam Singh, Chauthala ji, or for that matter even in Chandrababu Naidu. They may be political animal. They may be politically very, very robust, but they don't necessarily waste their time in studying books or any kind of philosophy, or they don't have any fallacy left for reading books on different ideologies, whereas Jayalalitha ji was a very meritorious student, and she wanted to become an administrative officer. She turned into a heroine, and then she changed her fortune. So her inputs used to be very intellectually inclined and correct at times. So it was all started in her premises in Post Garden during a lunch hosted by her where all of us were present.
But apart from what you're saying, her intellectual superiority, does she have anything in common with this lot in today's date?
But there is, in the name of political expediency, the blatant political opportunism is absolutely common between all of them. But one good thing about her is that she is absolutely and categorically blunt about it. She is not a hypocrite. Whereas these gentlemen, they try to have a ideological burqa, veil, under which they want to do sheer and blatant political opportunism, political compulsion, circumstantial incidents, for their characterlessness or political opportunism, as you may say, blame it on Rio in Brazil. No, I'm not that way. But it is the weather and atmosphere of the Rio that I have become like this. So that blame it on Rio syndrome is very much prevalent in their characters.
In 2007, Jayalalitha came, you were there, you got her to campaign in Uttar Pradesh for...
You are being ridiculed by a particular person. He laughed and said, you are lying. It is not possible because I have never helped that person. So you will always be betrayed by Brutus. You will always be betrayed by people whom you feel they are close. And I am not going to commit that mistake ever in life. I think other than your wife and children, you must keep a peripheral relationship. You should not make entry in anybody's internal spectrum, and you should not allow anybody to enter in your internal spectrum. If you maintain a formal peripheral relationship, you will never be emotionally hurt. So neither Bachchans nor Yadavs nor Sahara, everybody is right. They were wise, I was foolish. I salute their wisdom and pragmatism, and I curse my foolishness, and I repent my madness.
We'll end on this very mature note of yours. Thank you so much for talking to NewsX, and we'll talk to you soon.